Alright folks, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you guys have the most excellent day today. So I'm apologising for the delay since my last video. I have been way overwhelmed with stuff. But we have a cracker for you today. We will be doing another unboxing, and this time it is the Comstar Command Level 2 box set, which I've got here for you guys, which was a gift from my other half. And obviously, with it being Comstar, I will be starting a Comstar faction with these dudes. So without any further waffling, let's crack this bad boy open and have a look what we've got. Let's cut the seal over here now, open the box up. And as always, we have a nice little pack of cards. We've got the Alpha Strike on one side, which I really need to learn to play still. And on the other side, the flavour cards for classic Battletech. I'm not going to go through these. I'm sure there's plenty of videos of these online of people going through them. I am going to go straight to the mechs themselves. And I've been looking forward to this one for a long time, because there's one mech in here which I absolutely adore, and a couple which I really like, so this is a really good box set. Okay, so the first mech we're going to be looking at is the Mercury, which is this tiny little 20-tonner. Check this sculpt, that is nice. I love that little action pose it's got going on there. Like I said, it's 20 tons, base movement is 812, and generally it has a couple of medium lasers, or a medium and a small, and some sort of shenanigans that go with it, whether it's mask or some sort of probe. There are a couple of variants that have the improved C3 CPU in there, so if you want to team it up with other Comstar mechs, that is handy to use this little dude as a spotter. And it does get faster in the later eras, and it has 64 points of armor, which for a 20-tonner is pretty decent. It's about the same as a Locust. And one of the things I like about this mech is it does have enough heat sinks to run an Alpha Strike every single turn. So when you play with this little mech, you are going to get the most out of it. Now, personally, I would run this as a spotter for some sort of C3 equipped LRM boat that you got running in the back line. I wouldn't use this as a main offensive unit, that's for sure. So next up, we're going for a little bit of a bigger mech here, and this is the Sentinel. Now the Sentinel is a 40-tonner. It has got 6'9" movement, which is fairly decent for a 40-tonner. But its armor is actually quite weak in my opinion. Most variants have got between 88 and 96 points of armor, which for a 40-tonner is paper thin. Other variants later on do get a bit thicker. Now you can see this lovely sculpt has got the autocannon that a lot of them boast. In some variants it's a large laser or a PPC, that kind of stuff. So it does generally have one big gun and a couple of small little guns dotted about. That being said, the 3LB variant has got a Gauss, and the 4D variant has got a rotary autocannon 5 on the arm instead, which is one of my absolute favourite weapons, and both of those options do make this quite a potent mech in the right situation. And the best part is both of those variants actually have the decent armor, which is a boon. So yeah, this mech is definitely a potent threat in the later eras, but early on, 3025, that era, it's a bit weak. The third mech we're going to be looking at is actually quite a nice mech. I'm not a fan of the sculpt myself. I'm sure there are people who absolutely love the sculpt, and it is really well made. It's just not my taste. But check it out for yourselves. It's got all them jump jets on the back, because this thing does have 696 movement, which does, move it about fast, especially for a 65-tonner. This thing is agile for a 65-tonner. I like the stats of this mech, not a fan of the aesthetic of it. And it's got 169 points of armor to begin with, and later eras do get it up, which is good, because 169 for a 65-tonner isn't that great, especially when you think that they squeeze an XL engine into some variants of this, and you really don't want to be losing these torsos, because it's game over for Innisphere mechs if they lose a torso with an XL engine. And this thing is a laser boat primarily, generally a whole bunch of lasers, backed up with a little LRM-10 launcher, which you can just see in by there on the mech. In the later eras, it does come equipped with a C3 system, and some variants even have a null signature system, which, as you know, is Innisphere shenanigans at its finest. I love throwing those extra modifiers at long range, especially when you've got lots of long range firepower. It really comes in handy. So yeah, that is the Exterminator. Like I said, love the mech stats, not a fan of the aesthetic. And the next mech we're going to be looking at is the Black Knight, and this is one of my absolute favourites. This is one of the reasons I really wanted this pack. This beast has got 200 points of armor and 4/6 movement, so it will be stomping up the battlefield, throwing lasers everywhere and getting right up in your enemy's faces, where some variants really excel. There's a couple of variants that have a lovely hatchet on this arm, which is always fun in Battletech, getting up there and slapping someone with a hatchet. Now, this does pack a lot of lasers on most variants, and if you Alpha Strike, you are likely to turn off. But that doesn't matter, because whatever you shot is going to turn off too. This mech is a genuine workhorse that balances firepower, speed, and armor, and I absolutely love this to beast. And the actual sculpt that they've done really, really shines. Now, I know there is another version of the sculpt you can get, which has got a sword equipped on here and is, you know, the Clan Buster variant, and I would recommend, if you can get a hold of one of them, get one, because that thing is a tasty model. But I am really happy with my base variant. I am tempted to get another one and mod it with, you know, a 40k knife or something to make it the Clan Buster. But that is absolutely epic sculpt. Absolutely loving that mech. And next up is a true assault mech. This is one of my favorites. I've got a lot of history playing against these, but not really played with them, and that is the Highlander. Now, it has got 200 points of armor and a standard engine, so this beast will keep going no matter what damage you throw at it. You really do have to, you know, engine crit or take away the center torso on this to kill it. Most variants have got some variant of a Gauss rifle. There is a variant that's a Gauss rifle and a heavy Gauss rifle for when you just want to really slap someone from across the battlefield. This mech is a tough little 90-tonner with 353 movement, and it really does, you know, it is a proper workhorse. This beast will keep on going right till the end of the battle. And of course, along with the Gauss rifle, it does have an LMM20 pack on most variants and a whole bunch of little stuff. So yeah, definite workhorse, definite mech that you will love to use, and the sculpt is an amazing sculpt. There is you can really feel the weight, not just physically, but you can see the weight of this mech. Absolute beast. And the final mech we're going to be looking at is the King Crab. Now this thing, I adore and loathe at the same time. I adore playing with them. I am really looking forward to a local event where I will be running a King Crab in a 2,000 point game, which is a bit overkill, but it's doable without any modifications at 4/5 skill. But playing against these things, they don't die. The last time I played against one of these, it just kept on trucking. I beat it down, I got gyro hits, I blew off weapons, and it kept on coming. The thing just would not die. Eventually I had to, you know, blast it down onto the ground and kick it to death. Usually they've got two versions of the autocannon, whether it's a standard or LBX. I do kind of wish there was an Ultra Autocannon 20 version, but as far as I can tell, there's not amongst the stock list. There's a Gauss version, there's LBXs, I believe there's rotaries, there's PPCs. There's a whole swathe of stuff you can stick on these arms in stock versions, usually backed up by a large laser and an LOM20 or an LOM15 pack. This thing is a true assault. 353 movement, can't complain about that. It is a beast that just keeps on trucking. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed looking at these mechs. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Other than that, remember to tune in for my next video, which I'm hoping to be a battle report where I'll be doing a trial of possession against the other half of a blind box that has gone unclaimed. So remember to tune in for that. Other than that, though, you all have a most excellent day, an amazing week, and I will see you guys in the next video, okay? Take care, ta-ra.